What if one of the most powerful women in history was almost erased from the story? What if a queen so rich, so intelligent, so mysterious, that kings feared her influence, was turned into little more than a footnote? Imagine this. A queen crosses deserts, moves armies, carries mountains of gold, travels thousands of miles, not for war, not for conquest, but for one thing: truth. To test the wisdom of the most famous king on earth. And what happened next would change history forever. Because according to legend, their meeting created a bloodline of kings, a kingdom, and one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. This is the story of the Queen of Sheba. The queen history still cannot fully explain. Who was she? That is the mystery. Her real name? Unknown. Her face? Lost to time. Her story? Scattered between legend, religion, and history. Some call her Makeda. Others simply call her the Queen of Sheba. But one thing is absolutely clear. She was no ordinary ruler. She was powerful enough to stand beside kings, rich enough to command nations, wise enough to challenge the wisest man alive, and mysterious enough that historians still debate who she truly was. Even today, more than 3,000 years later, we are still asking the same question. Who was the Queen of Sheba? Where exactly was her kingdom? That debate still sparks arguments today. Some say Yemen in southern Arabia. Others say Ethiopia in East Africa. But here is where things get fascinating. Ethiopia may have the strongest claim. Why? Because Ethiopian history never forgot her. In Ethiopia she is remembered not as myth, but as family, as royalty, as legacy. Her name there, Makeda. And according to Ethiopian tradition, she was an Ethiopian queen whose influence shaped an entire empire. Ancient traditions, royal records, stories passed down for generations. Stories too important to simply ignore. Ethiopia kept her memory alive. And perhaps that says something powerful. Whoever she was, one thing is certain. Sheba was unimaginably wealthy. A kingdom overflowing with treasure. Gold, ivory, rare spices, frankincense, myrrh. Exotic goods kings desperately wanted. Trade routes stretched across deserts and seas. Her kingdom controlled wealth the ancient world could barely imagine. Massive markets, golden palaces, caravans moving through endless sand, ships carrying luxury goods across oceans. This was not some forgotten village kingdom. This was power. Real power. The kind that makes kings pay attention. Then came the rumor. A name whispered across kingdoms. Solomon, the king of Israel. A ruler said to possess impossible wisdom. A man whose intelligence became legendary. And the Queen of Sheba. She wanted answers. Was this king truly wise? Or was the world exaggerating? She decided to find out herself. And so she began one of history's most incredible journeys. Thousands of miles. Across brutal deserts. Dangerous roads. Harsh heat. Yet she moved forward. Her caravan stretched endlessly. Camels carrying gold. Precious spices. Rare treasures. Servants. Guards. Officials. A moving kingdom crossing the earth. Some believe the journey took months. Imagine the determination. This was not tourism. This was purpose. A queen risking everything to test a king. Then came the meeting. The moment history never forgot. Jerusalem. Solomon's court. Two giants of the ancient world finally face to face. And the Queen of Sheba came prepared. She tested him. With riddles. Questions. Challenges. Difficult problems. The kind meant to expose weakness. But Solomon answered them, one after another. Nothing shocked him. Nothing defeated him. And according to tradition, the queen was stunned. Not disappointed. Not unimpressed. Amazed. Respect grew between them. Connection. Perhaps something deeper. History whispers. Legend grows louder. And here is where the story becomes even more incredible. According to Ethiopian tradition, their encounter created something bigger than either of them imagined. A son, Menelik, known as the first emperor of Ethiopia, the beginning of a royal bloodline, a dynasty said to connect Ethiopian kings directly to Solomon himself. For centuries, Ethiopian emperors claimed this ancestry proudly. Think about that. One meeting between a queen and a king creating a legacy that shaped an entire nation. If true, it changes everything. Eventually, the Queen of Sheba returned home. But not as the same woman. Changed. Stronger. Wiser. More powerful. She had met the greatest king alive. Tested him. Learned from him. And returned carrying knowledge, influence, and a future dynasty. Her story did not end in Jerusalem. It grew, expanded, echoed through generations. And Ethiopia never forgot. One of the most important books in Ethiopian tradition, the Kebra Nagast, tells her story in extraordinary detail. A sacred royal history. A text preserving the connection between Sheba, Solomon, and Ethiopian kings. To many Ethiopians, she is not legend. She is heritage. Identity, pride, and perhaps that explains why Ethiopia's claim feels so powerful. Because memory matters. Stories survive for a reason. But history and Hollywood simplified her, reduced her, turned mystery into decoration. Too often the Queen of Sheba becomes just a beautiful visitor, a romantic side character. But the real possibility, far bigger. A wealthy African ruler, a diplomat, a strategist, a woman powerful enough to command kingdoms and challenge kings. Perhaps history struggled with women like that, especially African women like that. So the story became smaller, safer, less threatening. But greatness rarely stays buried forever. So the next time someone mentions the Queen of Sheba, remember this. She crossed deserts to challenge wisdom itself, commanded unimaginable wealth, possibly helped create one of Africa's greatest royal bloodlines, and left behind a mystery historians still cannot fully solve. Maybe the real question is not whether she existed. Maybe the real question is why were we taught such a smaller version of our story? Do you believe the Queen of Sheba came from Ethiopia or somewhere else? Drop your answer in the comments below. And subscribe to Unveiled History, because the truth is always more powerful than the myth.